Hey guys, welcome back to Hendrickson Family Farm. In today's video, we're going to be working on the John Deere 2030. I have a bad alternator and a bad battery. And I'm going to show you some of the steps that I did to diagnose the problem, along with how to change the alternator. It's really simple. I just thought I'd kind of show some people through it, and I haven't made a video in a while. I've been really busy with work. You know, it's just one of those things. Busy with work, busy with you know, family stuff. We got a lot of sports activities going on as of lately. Now Landon's baseball, the girls are doing rodeo. Actually, the girls took off before rodeo not too long ago. Well, at least Ava did. But anyway, let's get into this. So what you're going to need is a fluke volt, or not necessarily a fluke voltmeter, but you're going to need a voltmeter. I have a fluke 83. So the first one is AC voltage. The second one is your DC voltage. That's what we're going to be testing today. So you're going to want to put it in DC. Now, I have already tested this prior to the video because I needed it to run, and I have not changed the alternator yet. We're going to do that here in just a second. But you'll have it there, and then you'll have a red lead and a black lead. Your black lead is your negative, red's positive. It's important to note. On this particular alternator, it's really similar to like a GM alternator. You have a single wire, the older GMs that is, you have a single wire output on it. So what you can do is take your red lead, put it on the wire terminal you have there, and then any ground that you have on it. And when I say ground, your negative lead to your battery will work. You can put it there. But you can also just use a chassis ground because your negative goes to your chassis. So you put it on there, and then you go to your alternator terminal. With the tractor running, you should be getting about 13 to 14 volts off of your alternator. Some's a little less, some's a little bit more, but that's generally what it is. And if you don't have any output on your alternator, or if it's like 10 or 12 volts, your alternator's not doing anything. It's time to change it. You can take them into your local parts stores like your Napa's, O'Reilly's, AutoZones, and they will test your alternator. So let's get into changing the alternator real quick. It's not going to take too awful long, just about 5 minutes. You only need a few handful of tools, so let's get into it. So the first thing you're going to need to do is make sure your battery is disconnected. I already have it disconnected. I'm not going to show that part. And I didn't have the right size little wrench for the terminal, but the old Knipex, it has me for the win here for taking this bolt off. The sun's like really in my face tonight. I say the battery's off and it's going to arc on me, I promise. But I know it is unplugged. So the next thing to do would take the tensioner off. Loosen it. Oop, it's not a 16-inch. There we go. If memory serves me correctly, this bolt is a pain to get out of here because of the guard on the tractor for the fan shroud. I guess I was wrong. And there you go. There's one alternator down. And then here's the new one. I'm actually going to put that bolt in the other direction. See, that other bolt is meant to go on the front, but because of my clearances, I can't have it on the front. I have to put it on the back. Which isn't a big deal. The threads, you'll still thread in. And then the biggest thing is tension in it, right? Everybody's always asking, well, how do you know you have enough tension on it? Well, unless you have a right tensioner, I just use a pry bar and I put right back behind here and I just give it a little and then you want about a 1/4 inch deflection on the back side of it. Anyway, that's the way that I was shown how to do it whenever I was younger. Good and snug. Ooh. Well, darn. I have to loosen it back off. That bolt has to be the other way for clearance purposes. I guess I should have looked at that a little bit better. But the good news is I don't have to pull it all the way off. I can just loosen everything up. Run it through. Oh, you gotta put the belt back on it. Yeah, she's snug. So these alternators do have a built-in voltage regulator on them. That's why they put out a specific voltage and won't overcharge. Now they can overcharge if your voltage regulator's bad. Mine is not though. Well, obviously it's not because it's brand new. There's this extra mounting bolt that came with the alternator. We're going to go ahead and take that guy out. because we don't need it rattling around, and you can never have too many bolts laying around. So we got the alternator replaced. Now we're going to check the battery on the tractor. I already know that it's bad, but I will try to hold this up here where you guys can see what it's actually reading. There it is, 5.8 volts. That battery is no good. It has 2 dead cells in it, so we're gonna get that battery changed. I have another old battery. I think that it will work, but we'll find out real quick, and I'll show you. I do need to put new ends on the battery terminals. I will show you what I do on that. I just bought some of the cheap battery terminal post that just bolt on. It's just this quick and easy way to get a battery going. You should not be able to do that on a crimped end. This was on there from whenever I bought the tractor. So you need a 7/16 wrench or ratchet, and I'm going to go grab a ratchet real quick. But I do want to show you something. If you look at this little piece that goes up and then down, I like to take it and flip it over so it really crimps all of the wire in there good and tight. And I'll show you what I'm talking about here as soon as I get this off of here. Well, it's only hand tight, so it's not a big deal. So if you look, it's convex, and I like to make it concave on the terminal so it closes up a little bit better. And there's some people that can say that's wrong, and that's okay. I'm fine with it being wrong. It seems to hold better that way, so that's what I'm going to do. So then you just fish it through there, and I like it to be just a little proud like that. It's just a personal preference. This isn't you have to do it this way or it's wrong. This is just how I'm doing it. And then tighten them down evenly. Don't tighten one down and then come back and tighten the other one down. Do them evenly down. Now, let me zoom in here. Now, you can see what I was talking about. Even turning that over with that small wire like that, smaller wire, it still crimps and it doesn't bow up. If it's bowing up, you have a really big cable, then yeah, you probably want to do it the other way. So there's not a whole lot left here on this positive one. It's broke on top of everything else. I'm just going to cut it off flush. It does have this other wire, but it doesn't. It hasn't ever been hooked to anything.
Hi, crackers.
Now I am pulling the wire out from underneath there so I can strip it. Once it's stripped, I'll stick it back through. Make sure you twist her up pretty good. It seems to make it cramp. crimp a little bit better. Man, I can't talk today. I guess as you can tell, it's been a while since I did a YouTube video because usually I'm pretty good at speaking, but not this video. And we're going to do the same thing on this one. We're going to flip this deal over. This one's tight. The one thing about that, the second battery that we tested, it's an open cell battery, so that means that I will be able to put battery acid or distilled water in it and maybe try to rescue it. I think I can, because it's not that it's been used hard and just setting. It's just been setting for a little bit, so I don't think that it's going to be a bad thing on getting it up and going. See how much I can tighten them by hand first, because it's kind of awkward to get in there too. My wife asks me all the time if making those funny faces help me work on stuff. And you know what? It does. And like I said before, make sure you're rotating from side to side. You're not over tightening one side versus the other. Emma's out there feeding. Emma didn't go to the show or to the rodeo, only Ava did. Emma's got one of her cousins coming over to stay the night, I guess. Emma will be going to Kentucky or Florida. I don't know if they decided which show that they're going to try to attend, but I just know that they're going to go to attend. They're going to be in attendance. They're not going to be riding in the. It's an English hunter jumper show. And I believe that's it. Now, I don't know. We're gonna try to jump this with Nina's car because she's in the truck. I don't know if her car is gonna have enough oomph to jump the tractor, but we will give it a shot and see what it does. Well, I can't even. I don't know. We'll try. And we'll see if we can get it started for you. Be back in a minute. Well, guys, I appreciate you coming along with me on the John Deere 2030. I know that it will fix it, but there's one problem. My wife took the keys to her car too, so I can't even try to jump start it until I get the truck back. So it ain't gonna be till tomorrow before I start it. But I know when I put it back, if I put a new battery in there, it'd start right up, and it would charge it just like it should. But I'm gonna try to save that other battery. You don't have to do that if you don't want to, but a battery's getting kind of pricey these days, so I was going to see if I could get that old battery to work. We have to build some gates coming up in a future video. I got 2 walkthrough gates that we'll also be building in a future video. I have to get some of them built. I'm getting behind on some stuff around the house. And we'll be using the new Lincoln welder that I got. It's not a plug for Lincoln, it's just the welder that I have. It's a gas powered welder. It's brand new. I really like it. It's the Lincoln Eagle 10,000. Really nice welder. What little I have welded with it so far. But if you've made it this far, make sure you hit the subscribe button, the thumbs up, and leave us a comment. I always enjoy answering comments. Especially on the 2030s. I have a couple other John Deere 2030s replacing the hydraulic pump and stuff on there. And man, I get comments from all over the world asking me questions about the hydraulic pump and different things like that. I really enjoy conversating with people. But until next time, thanks for coming.